Okay, I've got Sarah here with me today, and Sarah has just finished the 12-week course. Sarah's a mum of 2 boys and she works full time. So welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks
And
for
I just
having me.
wanted to ask you a few questions about like the course and your experience and how you've got on, just so we can kind of share that with a wider audience. So
Yeah.
could you start first of all by telling me what your problem was? So health-wise, kind of what was going on for you before you started the 12-week course?
I think predominantly I was just feeling so exhausted and overwhelmed, and I had a dreadful backache most of the time. Everything was just hard work.
Yeah.
I felt that I got annoyed with myself because I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. So in turn, that impacted on everybody in our house, and I just felt generally rotten all the time.
Yeah, and how long do you think that you'd felt like that?
My backache started probably nearly 16 years ago when I was with my first son, and it's just gone on from there. I've had tried various treatments, physiotherapy, tried numerous different things that I felt like I just spent money on and didn't work. So a long time of feeling kind of run down and just unhappy with myself, really.
Yeah, so did none of what you tried before work?
No, nothing. I'd go for the physio, and it would help for maybe a day or two.
Yeah.
And it would just gradually kind of build again to the point where I was going weekly. It was costing a lot of money on a monthly basis, and I wasn't really seeing any great results from that.
Yeah, and did you expect that looking at like your nutrition would help your back?
I think I just got to that point where I just knew I needed to do something for me to benefit everybody else.
Yeah.
I kind of saw your Facebook posts, and there was something that attracted me to the course, and then the discussion that we had, and I just decided that I needed to give it a go.
Yeah.
I was a little bit nervous at first about the cost and the investment.
Yeah.
Because it was a very much a considered purchase.
Yeah.
But I just reached that point where I knew I needed to do something, and I couldn't continue the way I was.
Yeah. And had you tried anything? So like where you said you was feeling exhausted and like irritable, had you ever tried anything to overcome that before?
Not as such. I've meditated for a long time, just using apps because I found that relaxing.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I was on catch up all the time. I'd done all the usual kind of Slimming World, and I went to a personal trainer for a while to see whether it would help. But I think that was that lack of understanding around how much my back actually hurt as to how much I could physically do. I just not come across anything that genuinely made me feel any better, and in turn it made me feel worse because I felt like I was failing. So then I would start to really dislike myself, and why couldn't I stick to anything, and what was it about me? Why was I like this? And it's a vicious circle of kind of just going round and round and not getting anywhere.
And so did you have any reservations about starting something new, starting something with me?
I think from initially, but then when we had our first call to go through what the program was, I just really liked the sound of it, and that it was slow and bite-sized chunks, so that you would learn something, and it wasn't just thrown at you just to kind of get on with it. That you would gradually pick up these new techniques, and some weeks would be harder than others, but that it was a gradual 12-week process as opposed to an all-at-once thing.
Yeah.
And that really appealed to me, that I could kind of learn, and that I would hopefully gradually see those improvements.
Yeah, and did you?
Oh, more or less straight away. Just simple things like hydration. I've always been a dreadful drinker, from just always. My kind of water intake on a daily basis would be virtually nothing. I could get through a day on maybe 3 or 4 mouthfuls of tea. So that first week where we looked at hydration and it said, oh, you should try to drink 2 litres a day. And I was like, that's an awful of liquid. But within that first week, I couldn't believe that just drinking water would make me feel so much better. And from there on in, it was just a steady increase of energy and well-being and just general health, really much better. My backache very, very quickly started to disappear, and I began to do things that I never imagined I would be able to do so easily.
Tell us some of those things.
Well, things like going for just everyday family walks were a chore. My back would very quickly into the walk begin to really hurt, or I would need to take tablets to kind of to go and do it. So I'd make up loads of excuses as to why I couldn't or shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And now just 12 weeks on, I'm doing a daily sort of 3-mile walk, getting faster with it. My back, virtually, I have no niggles with it at all. Flying around, getting faster and faster. But then other daily things, where it would have been you go for a walk or you do other things in the house, because any one of them would have really hurt because my flexibility wouldn't be great or whatever. Now I just kind of do all of them and feel great about it. And it wasn't until last weekend that I kind of reflected that I'd been for a walk, I'd whizzed around and done the housework, I'd prepared dinner. There was a massive amount of things that I'd done without even really thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just that general flexibility and not feeling like my back's like glass and that it could kind of shatter it at any point. It's a feeling.
Oh, so good. I had the same as you. So I suffered with my back for 20 years and I tried everything, like you said, osteo and physio and massage therapy, and all of it helped for a little bit, and then the pain would come back again. And I didn't think it was nutrition that would really change it, but it had a massive effect on me. So it's been so nice to see that journey for you as well. And it's been like, seemingly, as I've watched you week upon week grow, it's been like seemingly easy for you, or that's how it's appeared. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think it has been easy because I've seen the benefits so quickly.
Yeah.
Having said that, I think it was a different mindset for me this time.
Okay.
I think I had reached that point where I just couldn't continue the way that I was, and I needed to do something for me. And I stopped and thought and considered initially that if the boys had come to me and said, I really want to go on this school trip or whatever, I would have done anything to find that money for them to be able to do those things. Why wouldn't I invest in myself so that I could go out and do more things with them?
Yeah.
So I think because I wanted to do it, and because the results did come fairly quickly, it gave me that determination to keep going. But I think maybe my mindset was different this time.
Yeah. And how did you find having like support and accountability during these 12 weeks? Did that help you?
Yeah, I think that's very much been key. So the weekly accountability calls, it's great to chat to you about the issues or the things that I've learned in the past week, but also those things that are coming up, but to listen to other people's learning and journey as well. It just kind of, you pick up different hints and tips throughout the kind of the calls. Those halfway through the week check-ins too.
Yeah.
So it just keeps it in the forefront of your mind. And it's good. And sometimes we don't celebrate those kind of little things, but actually lots of those little things become the big thing at the end.
They do. Yeah.
And I think that's very much really kind of helped my journey, is to keeping it in the forefront of my mind all the time.
Yeah. And recently I saw an older photo of you and I said to you, you look completely different. So tell us why you look different.
Well, I think I have, although I've not been weighed, I've definitely lost some weight, and my weight journey has still got a way to go. But my face has changed.
It has.
I feel less bloated and just, I I don't know, more kind of, I've got more features than I had before.
And you said that you wore a t-shirt that you didn't fit into last summer that you got back into.
Yeah, I've kind of a few different t-shirts now that wouldn't go anywhere near me last year that fit more than comfortably now. And I haven't really tried with that side of things. It's almost like a side effect of what I've been doing. It was difficult initially because I think it was the breakfast week. Very much had that kind of diet mentality of or how much should I eat, and now I just eat and drink and feel sustained, and I don't have those terrible dips where all of a sudden I'm hungry and shaky. And I even went, just before we started the 12 weeks, I even went to the doctors for kind of a checkup, because I was convinced that, you know, maybe I was diabetic or I had something wrong with my liver, or, you know, I just felt so unwell. And I think it was just a culmination of not really knowing what to do and what to follow, because there's so much conflicting advice out there. And do I eat low fat or full fat, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think I realised that I just wasn't kind of sustained in any of the things that I was doing.
Yeah. And you said some other nice benefits. So you were telling us about your son gave you a bit of a compliment, didn't he?
Yeah, so my relationship with my eldest son can be a little bit difficult sometimes. He's a typical 15-year-old, and we're very similar, so we clash, and I was finding it very difficult because I felt like I was just arguing and at him all the time. But then I think I was about 6 or 7 weeks in, and he said, "Oh, do you know what? You're quite fun now," and it's been his aim to get me on a bike for years. So that's what I'm working towards now, is kind of going out for bike rides and things with him. So it's brought lots of benefits there as well. Our relationship has definitely improved, because I don't feel like I'm kind of shouting at him as much.
So many benefits. And so what about your energy specifically then? Because that was one of the first things that you said, that you came in because you felt exhausted. So how do you feel now?
Energy levels have just increased so much. So at the beginning I scored my energy levels as a 3, and now very much a 9. I kind of fit loads of things into my day, and then I sit down on a night and I don't have that kind of, oh, I just want to go to sleep feeling. I kind of even think, oh, is there anything else that I could do? Or I just feel kind of invigorated and alive, as opposed to just feeling like dead on my feet all the time.
Yeah. And so do you feel like you're pleased now that you made that investment, that you took the course on?
Absolutely. I have no regrets at all. It's the best thing I've ever done. I feel really proud of myself for kind of doing it, but I've enjoyed it as well. The resources, just all of it's just been fantastic, and I'm really excited to continue on with the next part. I've just no regrets at all. Best thing ever.
It's been so good to watch your progress, and thank you so much for sharing that with us today. It's been really great to hear that from you, Sarah. Excellent. So good luck with the continuation of your journey, and see you soon.
Lovely, thank you.
Bye.